Why, hello there, I'm Professor Joel, and welcome to another episode of Planet Scooby Reviews. Today we are covering the Neon Phantom of the Roller Disco, and this episode originally aired on October 13th, 1979, and it is the fourth episode of the Scooby-Doo and Scrappy Doo Season 1 series. Hold on. I just want to fix something. Much better. If you were born in the 2000s, you might not know what a roller disco is. They were very popular in the 70s and early 80s. It was essentially like a skating rink, but you didn't have ice. You just had a concrete floor and you had roller skates, which were boots with four little wheels on them that you could skate around the rink in. And it's very cool. It was around during my time. It was kind of popular. I never went to many. I went to them more at like birthday parties and whatnot, but because I was too young to go at night. I think at night you would have had a lot more fun. They made everything dark and they like have lights that like disco balls that shone lights everywhere, and you play games like the Hokey Pokey and stuff, and they blast loud music that was popular at the time. So you'd hear like Thriller by Michael Jackson at one point, and you'd hear all sorts of cool songs. If you watch Stranger Things, I think they covered that in the episode, or maybe it was Karate Kid, one of those series. They do roller disco, so you probably are kind of familiar with it. During that era, nobody wore helmets, so I have a lot of friends who broke some wrists or lost some teeth at the roller rinks. Fortunately, I have all my teeth. When I went, I typically went and played video games instead of roller skating. My balance sucks. And of course, I ate a lot of junk food there, because aside from the rink, they had like a concession stand where you'd eat French fries and buy chocolate, and it was kind of cool. Again, it's kind of gone out of style. Later on in the 90s, we had rollerblades, and they kind of revived the roller rink for a while. But I think rollerblades have fallen out of style too. I don't see many people using them. Anyway, I am jabbering and gibbering on way too much. So let's get on with my review. The episode begins with a neon phantom bursting out of Sparkles, a Hollywood roller rink. The neon phantom has this glowing crash test dummy look that glows with neon electricity. The gang are on their way to the Chinese theater in Hollywood, where Shaggy is excited to see the premiere of the film Hair Grease Fever. Scrappy is giving directions, and they end up at the Hollywood Bowl, where Nightmare, which is a rock band, is playing. Excited to see the band, the gang get tickets. They get the cheapest seats and sit at the very back of the bowl.
Hollywood at last!
I don't want to miss the premiere of Hair Grease Fever tonight.
This isn't the Chinese theater. It's the Hollywood Bowl.
Okay, so I made a mistake. I'm a puppy.
But look who's playing tonight. Nightmare!
Let's catch part of the show.
Boogie down.
Midway through the set, the Neon Phantom appears on top of a band shell and stops the show, claiming he feeds on electricity and nothing will stop him.
Zoinks! Look up there!
I feed on your electricity. Wow, 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 wow.
We're headed for 731 Sundown Boulevard.
According to this guidebook, that's where we'll find Sparkle.
That's the roller disco they said the Neon Phantom haunts.
Instead of heading off to see the movie, the gang head to Sparkles, the roller disco, where the Neon Phantom haunts. There they see the Neon Phantom run into the building, and Scrappy runs out immediately to chase the Phantom.
Look! The Neon Phantom!
Puppy powers!
Well, roller disco's locked up tight. There's no way in.
The Neon Phantom found a way. Look!
Maybe Shaggy found a way in through the alley.
The roller disco is locked up tight, and when they try to break in, a burglar alarm goes off. Bill Walker, who lives in the house next door, steps out and asks the gang what's going on. Sparkles is his landlord, and Bill Walker lives next door to keep an eye on the building. Bill Walker walks away, and Scooby finds an advertising flyer that says, "Avoid the lines, come early to Sparkles, roller disco." Shaggy wonders what lines, as the place is clearly closed.
What's all this noise?
We heard an alarm bell.
I'm Bill Walker. That was my security alarm. Sparkles is my landlord, and I'm keeping an eye on the building for them. Take my advice and steer clear of that neon phantom.
What lines? The place is closed.
Not anymore.
During the commotion, Scrappy also busted down the back alley door, so the gang enter Sparkles. Splitting up inside, the gang search the disco. Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy head to the main disco room and spot a dinosaur projected on a movie screen. The lights then go off and a voice comes on from the DJ booth. Scrappy confronts the voice and it turns out to be Joey Cassette, one of the owners of Sparkles. Joey closed the disco early that night so he could work on a new disco show. They also meet Steve Shimmer, Joey's partner. Steve and Joey explain the Neon Phantom is ruining their business, scaring everyone off in droves. Steve wants to close it permanently, and Joey wants to buy out Steve's shares, but Steve walks away without any comment because he doesn't want to sell his shares just yet, I guess. The Sparkles rock group is recording a new album that night, and the gang are invited to stay and watch. Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy rather see the movie, so they head off to the Chinese theater.
I got him, Uncle Scooby. I really did get him.
I'm Joey Cassette, one of the owners of Sparkles. We closed early tonight, but I came back to design a new light show. That monster film was part of it.
We thought you were the Neon Phantom.
So you're looking for the Neon Phantom, huh? Well, he sure ruined our business.
Kids, this is Steve Shimmer, my partner in Sparkles.
People blame Sparkles for the Phantom, so they're staying away in droves.
And just when we were planning to expand.
I want to close this disco permanently.
Never. I'll buy out your share first. Just give me a fair price. Hey, the Sparkles rock group is recording a new album tonight. How'd you like to attend an all-night session?
Great!
Yeah, that'd be great.
At Sparkles, Freddy and the girls watch the recording of the new album for Sparkles, and during the recording, which kind of sounds like a knockoff of the popular song Staying Alive, the Neon Phantom shows up and interrupts the recording. All of the energy has been drained from the building. Running outside, Freddy and the girls watch the Phantom push an antenna off the apartment building.
Jinkies, could it be the Neon Phantom?
So, you're the Sparkles, eh? Well, you'll sparkle no more.
The Neon Phantom's drained all the energy from the building. Jinkies,
You'll never catch me. Never!
Velma then deduces the Neon Phantom will be showing up at the Chinese theater as it will have a big crowd and lots of electricity. Meanwhile, at the Chinese theater, Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy watch Travolta, Streisand, and Jagger walk into the theater. The Neon Phantom then shows up and drains all of the electricity.
Here's another limousine, and it's, yes, the producer of Hair Grease Fever, Bob Melnick.
I can't see a thing.
Ah, here come some of the world's most famous rock stars. Welcome, welcome.
Boy, oh boy, there goes Jagger's legs, and there goes Travolta's legs, and there's Streisand's ankle.
Your next movie premiere will be done by candlelight.
Scrappy runs to the back of the theater where he suspects the Phantom will drop down and confronts the Neon Phantom before Scooby carries him off. A small chase occurs and they run into the rest of the gang.
Any minute now, he's gonna drop a rope down the back of the theater, and then we splat him.
Velma checks out the theater's electrical control panel and finds an electrical timer wired in. Velma remembers that Sparkles uses the same sort of gadgetry, so they head back to Sparkles to look for more clues. At the roller disco, they find a circular for dimmers and neon equipment on Steve Shimmer's desk. The word Uno puns, eel, is also written on the back of the circular, which Velma figures out is a clue.
Shag, Scooby, where's the Neon Phantom?
oh, we got here too late.
This is a dimmer with a timer hooked to the master circuit.
The roller disco uses equipment like this. Come on, let's go.
Hey, I think I found something here on Steve Shimmer's desk.
It's a circular from an electrical supply house. Neon tubing, strobe lights, and rheostat. Those are dimmers. Humo Pun's eel.
Well, I know what an eel is, but what does Yumo puns mean?
Velma sets a trap for the grand reopening of the disco, and we get a cute scene of the gang roller skating in the disco. Scooby also gets caught up in some tar on the roller derby floor, which is a bit odd. Why would tar be on the roller disco floor? The Neon Phantom then shows up and mockingly says, "Grand reopening, eh? I welcome you to the grand closing."
Grand reopening, eh? I welcome you now to the grand reclosing.
Racing outside, Scrappy, Scooby, and Shaggy chase the neon phantom to the Hollywood sign, where the phantom turns off the lights once more. After some quick thinking, Scrappy and Scooby capture the phantom. Before unmasking the phantom, they discover he has a dimmer attached to him that controls his glow. The electrical circular they found on Steve Shimmer's desk has an advertisement for the black box controller that he wears. Shaggy announces that it must be Steve Shimmer, but he soon eats his words as Joey Cassette and Steve Shimmer show up in their Jeep. Velma then points out that Umapun's eel written on the back of the circular is really 733 Sundown, which is Mr. Walker's house. The flyer was mistakenly delivered to 731 Sundown, which is Sparkles. Unmasking the phantom, it does turn out to be Mr. Walker. There is tar on his boots, which is from the disco roof. Joey wanted to expand his business, and Mr. Walker wanted to scare Joey off so he wouldn't lose his house that he was renting.
This black box contains batteries and a dimmer. That's how he was able to increase or decrease his glow.
But this electrical supply circular we found on Steve Shimmer's desk was the big clue. It advertises this black box, the dimmer, and the timer he used at the Chinese theater.
Like Scoob and I knew all the time it was Steve Shimmer, huh?
This was delivered to Steve by mistake. Look at it this way.
733 Sundown?
Right next door to Sparkles. It's Mr. Walker.
And the tar on the dance floor came from his shoe.
He got it from the disco roof.
Mr. Walker told us that Sparkles was his landlord. And when you mentioned expanding, Joey, things started to add up.
Oh, so the whole neon phantom scare was to drive us out of business.
So he wouldn't have to lose his house to the roller disco.
Only now he'll have to move anyway.
Right, like to a place with bars on the windows.
With another mystery solved, the gang head off on their next adventure. I give this episode a 7 out of 10. Okay, he looks like a crash test dummy, I guess, combined with neon lights or something. I don't know. But I liked his attitude. He was spunky, this neon phantom. I just found it hilarious how he'd show up on roofs and just like shout down at everyone saying, "I'm stealing all your power, ha ha!" Thought that was kind of cool. For me too, I love the cultural references for a bygone era in this. Roller discos, roller skates, the 70s rock bands they cover, neon lights, Hollywood films. I mean, they even cover Travolta in this and Barbra Streisand and Mick Jagger. I have such nostalgia for these things, and it's cool to see an old episode reference what was popular at the time. And it was probably a lot of fun to see this back in 1979 when this stuff was still popular, right? So I thought that was kind of cool. If you have no interest in this, though, you'd probably be like, what the heck? This episode sucks. But me, I like this episode. 7 out of 10. Mystery itself is kind of decent, but I don't know why the guy's going to really go to jail, or actually I do know he's going to go to jail. He was stealing power, but I don't know why he went to all that effort to save his house. You know, maybe there's a bigger issue here. Like, dude doesn't want to lose his house. So yeah, don't let that happen. Don't let that expansion happen somehow, or give him some other alternative place to live. Housing is expensive. So I kind of felt for the guy because, you know, if I was losing my house, I'd be like, I don't think I'd go to the extremes he did, but I'd be kind of upset that I might do something not stupid, but, you know, I'd do everything I could to save my house, I guess I'm saying. But I do it legally, not like him. So yeah, don't don a costume and steal power from places and ruin rock concerts and Hollywood premieres and the Hollywood signs. Bad idea. Additional trivia, we get the Mystery Machine license plate number in this one. I think it's the first time it's ever showed, and it is AC712. I don't think it stands for anything, but kind of cool trivia. And again, yeah, the mystery is fun. Freddy, Velma, and Daphne get some screen time and do some stuff on their own, which is good. Mostly Velma, though. Velma's kind of like, again, the main player besides Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy in this. She gets the most talking points. Freddy and Daphne are kind of left with little to do other than Freddy drives a mystery machine and Daphne makes her odd quip once in a while. But yeah, 7 out of 10. Anyway, that's my review. Join me next week when I will be covering Shiver and Shake. That's a demon snake. And until then, stay spooky.